As a cross-disciplinary research method that emerged in 1980s, narratology plays a decisive role in both literary film and drama. Among the three categories of narrative, realism, classicism, and formalism all can help the audience to define the scope and direction of the narrative, helping the audience to feel a strong sense of substitution. In this video essay, I will focus on the research and discussion of narrative theme of the realism theme. The earliest Hollywood classic three-stage structure does not have a clear decomposition. With the diversification of the film industry and themes, more and more narrative structures appear on the big screen, and more art themes have been adapted into movies, whether they are novels or comics. Moreover, with the improvement of special effects technology and emergence of CGI, the experience of realism have become particularly important. However, James Cameron's Alita: Battle Angel breaks the balance between CGI and realism. CGI is used in movies and the real details of the characters in the process of using computer effects is a very rare thing. But for realism films, the narrative structure is the most important part of building a bridge between the film and audience. In addition to the high-performance effects of Alita, the narrative structure is a little bit disappointing point of this film. As one of the cyberpunk's masterpieces, Yukito Kishiro's masterpiece, Gundam is serialized in the 1991. The story tells the post-apocalyptic era after the collapse of the 26th century civilization. The work revolves around the opposition between the city's Scrap Art City and the Sky City Sagan. The original world view is very dark. When its work is changed into a commercial film, the original plot does not change much. But the darkness of the last days and some of darker setting are not fully expressed in the film, to be honest. The film's portrayal of the Alita girl side is very good, but the film's architecture limitations are that she has no plan to continue, so it is no way for many scenes to be fully expressed, so that almost everyone, especially the villains, is not very perfect. The lack of narrative structure has a great influence on the shaping of rule, and the audience does not fully understand the story. The film used two narrative lines to tell the story, the main line of the comic itself and the emotional lines of the characters. The film intersperses these two lines in the narrative structures and tries to express the two narrative lines, leading to the formation of graceful characters. The storyline is interspersed with scenes happening at different times, and the emotional line is from the beginning to the end, which also causes that the viewers can't follow the whole storyline and lose the sense of substitution. The alternating advancement of the two narrative lines in the first half of the film has caused the climax of the later story to end quickly. After being defeated, the Alita loses her memory, then recovers her memory, awakens the high-level body, a cyber body, gets weapons, defeats the small boss, loses the main partner, and finally sees the big boss. As a movie adapted from the original comic book, it is difficult to do well after including the main line of the comics. Therefore, the distribution of the main plot and the subplot is particularly important. The subplot can also help the character shape in the main plot. In the foundation of screenwriting, Sitfield states that actions can be divided into tangible, physical, and emotional moments. An emotional one is the experience of emotion. Reasonable layout conflicts help viewers bring themselves into roles. It is these relationships that have caused the internal contradictions and external contradictions in the narrative structure to attract the audience. The narrative structure can often directly help the establishment of wrong relationships. Through Louis Genetti's theory of film narratology, I will rewriting Agatha's narrative structure. I will use formless narratives and target a certain theme. Secondly, I will start using the realistic class parent structure. The focus of these two narrative structures is different. The director chooses a balance between the two crews in the film, and I highlight the character emotion in formless narrative. The classic three-segment structure will highlight the character's storyline to explore how different narrative structures affect the characters in the story. I recorded each of the movie's story points and reordered them. I will focus on formless narrative and highlight the emotions between Arita and Hugo. Then I will try the classic narrative and highlight the storyline between Arita and Nova to verify the different narratives brought to the artist's different experience. As this narrative structure shows, the very clear story emphasizes the process that helps audience resonate. The emotionally rich story emphasizes the emotional connection with the audience. In the case of Arita, the narrative structure used by the director focused on the expression of emotion while at the same time building a accumulation for the subsequent story. So different narratives can achieve different effects using different structures in the same story depends on the director's trade-offs. In this respect, the two cannot be balanced when the main storyline and the secondary storyline are balanced. At the time, the whole story may seem boring and cannot resonate with the audience. Sometimes there will be good results, but not all. It depends on the choice of directors and the screenwriters. The narrative structure is a particularly important part. of expressing the story you want and immersing the audience in the story.